All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, the Department of Basic Education has put forward a proposal to reduce the pass mark for home language in senior phase. We're talking grades 7, 8, and 9. And it wants to drop maths as a compulsory promotion requirement in that phase. The proposal suggests pupil can obtain a pass mark of 40% instead of 50% for home language in these grades. The department will embark on a broad consultation process with all stakeholders. Let's take this discussion further. In studio with us, we've got Florence Modipa, who is the Chief Education Specialist for the curriculum at the Department of Basic Education. Florence, thanks. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Leanne, and good morning to the viewers.
All right. Give me a better understanding of this proposal. What are you proposing? Is there more to it than what I've suggested?
There's more to it, Leanne. Currently, if you look at the promotion requirements in the senior phase, they are pitched a bit higher than the grade 12, which is your exit qualification.
Yeah.
So what the department is trying to do is to say, let's align the promotion requirements for the entire system. We're looking into all the phases, but the focus is actually on senior phase currently, to say, let the senior phase promotion requirements be aligned to the requirements in grade 12.
Okay, so it's basically saying that let's focus on maths for now. Is that maths as it stands right now is a compulsory subject to pass in order to move on to the next grade?
Yes, Leanne.
Now you're saying that it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be the case?
That it shouldn't be, but we're having a proviso which says that for learners who want to offer mathematics in the FET phase, they'll need to pass mathematics, because it provides a foundational competence for mathematics in the next grades.
Would it not be a concern that perhaps we're taking away the emphasis of how important maths actually is by saying, all right, well, you don't really need to pass it? I mean, maths is a vital role in anybody's life.
Maths is important, Leanne, and we're really trying to ensure that learners continue offering mathematics. But what we're saying is that currently, as it stands, if a learner passes all the subjects and fail mathematics, that learner will be retained in the phase. But when they get to grade 10, then we're giving them an allowance to choose whether they want to offer mathematics or to offer mathematics literacy. It really doesn't make it educational or academic sense. So we are saying, given that the promotion requirements in the FET phase actually says a learner should pass 6 subjects, regardless of what subjects are they, can we do the same even in the senior phase? Have learners passing 8 subjects, one of which should be home language, but other subject we shouldn't put specification on whether it is a maths or it's not a maths. But for learners who will offer mathematics in grade 10, 11, and 12, they'll still need to pass mathematics.
Yeah, that confuses me, because at the end of the day, if you're not really encouraging them from the earlier grades, when they're still young, I mean, we're talking about 12, 13, 14-year-olds, and then suddenly they're going to pick it up again, I mean, they're going to have lost so much. Instead of you know, and I do quote the former Vice Chancellor of the University of the Free State, who wrote an amazing column about this, basically saying that, to quote him, exams are rigged to make the weakest pupils pass, not to make the brightest pupils excel. Isn't that a big concern to South Africa, that we are promoting inadequacy, and that we just seem to be lowering our pass rates, lowering our education system, so we can just push pupils through the schooling system?
I'm not sure what pushing or affording the weakest learners to pass means. But what I can tell you, Leanne, is that 40% is a minimum pass requirements. But what we know is that teachers do not teach towards 40%. What we know is that we have got 7 levels of competencies. And we are saying 40% is moderate achievement. So there are different levels of competence. But in order to try to respond to our sustainable developmental goals, where the issue of inclusivity is key in the system, we are saying, how do we also, as we encourage learners to offer mathematics or to encourage stronger learners to participate in the education system, we also take on board learners who are struggling. And you bring the issue of inclusivity. And that actually comes through the different taxonomies that we use in terms of assessing the curriculum. So we're not saying 40% is a pass, we're saying it's a minimum pass requirement.
Yeah, it still worries me. It really does worry me, because it's almost very contradictory. We see certain departments in government, and government emphasizing the fact that we have a dire skills shortage in this country, and we need to educate the masses and the pupils coming through into the system so that we can get engineers, we can get doctors, we can get mathematicians and scientists, that, you know, we can move this continent forward. And yet the Department of Education is lowering the standards, dropping the pass rates, saying maths isn't compulsory. There's almost like it's a big contradiction that's happening. How do we move a country forward if we're not getting to what the root of the problem is, as opposed to keep just dropping the standards?
Leanne, we're actually trying to strengthen the curriculum. There's a team, the ministerial team, that has been appointed to look into how we strengthen the curriculum further. I think you know that in 2014, these promotion requirements came into being as a result of a revision that happened in 2009. So what is happening is that as we're implementing in the system, we're also looking into pressure points, into challenges that are there. And we have got an outcry. Our unions have told us that we're having an issue in terms of how we have pitched the senior phase. The intention was very good to say that because senior phase is supposed to be, is a compulsory exit qualification, kind of, because learners at that level, then they're exiting the compulsory schooling. So how then do we deal with the issue of ensuring that every learner is involved in the education system? Are we going to encourage mathematics or to advocate mathematics through compulsion? Yeah. We cannot do that. But we are saying mathematics is very important, and if maybe I could cite in terms of learners who are following a technical pathway, there's a specific kind of mathematics that has been designed for that, which is technical mathematics, because the ministerial task team that was appointed in 2009 said, offer another kind of mathematics, because learners are saying the mathematics is very difficult. We're saying, but the technical subjects also need mathematics. So how do we deal with that? We then said, let's have a technical mathematics, which will be another form of mathematics to assist these learners who will follow the engineering stream.
You know, there's this thought process out there, and when you speak to professors and you speak to many people that are in the training industry, that say that maths is not necessarily just for, as I mentioned earlier, engineers and those kind of professions. I mean, this gives you skills in life skills, problem-solving skills, and we've always known this for many, many years and generations through as it goes by. But when we look at and this is quite interesting to me, and perhaps you'll find it the same, that there's statistics that have gathered since 1991 prove that the average numeracy level of adults in South Africa is equal to that of a grade 2 or grade 3 learner. Now that is frightening, and I mean, one has to really worry if, as it stands right now, these are the statistics we're looking at. We're just going to make it worse.
I don't think we're going to make it worse, Leanne, because we're not saying we're neglecting or we're removing mathematics, or we're not going to take into consideration how to strengthen the issue of mathematics. We have seen from the reports that have been produced in terms of the pills and the SABC and so on, that how learners are performing in the system in terms of mathematics. And what we should be saying is that how then do we deal with these issues that keep on coming to say that we having teachers who do not have sufficient content, we've got learners who have got lower competencies in numeracy. How do we deal with that? But currently, where we are, Leanne, we are saying, let's align the promotion requirements in the senior phase such that they speak to the promotion requirements of the exit qualification, which is a benchmark currently in the country. All
right, let's wrap it up very quickly because I've got to get into news, but there is a consultation process at the moment. This isn't going to be implemented. It's a suggestion. Yes. Will you take people's views seriously? How do they consult with you?
What happens is that we've got stakeholders that are in the system, your unions, your independent schools and so on, but we also publish this in the government gazette. And what we also do is that we're having different consultation meetings with different bodies. So when the comments come, we have a team that will actually analyze the comments, and they are taken into consideration, Leanne.
Good.
I'm a testament to that, because I've seen them coming, and what we want to do is that given this, the comments that we're going to receive, we will then decide, or the minister will then make a determination on whether we're proceeding with the proposal or not.
All right, thank you, Florence. Thank you so much for talking to us. I know this is not going to be the last conversation. We'll follow up on this rigorously to see what the developments are. Florence Modipa is the Chief Education Specialist for the Curriculum at the Department of Basic Education.
Thank you,
Thanks
Leanne.
again. All right, it is exactly 7 o'clock here on Morning Live. Let's get into our